How's it going, everybody? Thank you for watching another video. So I've been getting questions from friends and families over the past few years about how to start their own YouTube channel, and I've been doing it now for about 5 years, so I think I can speak competently on that matter. So I'm just going to call this video the top 5 things you need to start your own YouTube channel. Let's get into it. Guys, if you want to purchase any of the products mentioned in this video, make sure you check the links in the description below. Alright, so we're already going to assume you know what you want your YouTube channel to be about. The first thing you're going to need is a camera of some sort. Now, this is the exact phone that I started my YouTube channel with 5 years ago, and I have only pretty much primarily used cell phones. Alright, so I went from like Note 3 to Note 4, S5, S6. Right now I'm using an S7, and sometimes you're going to see a GoPro, but for the most part, it's all on cell phone. Now, some of the things I like about recording with a cell phone is just the size and the weight of this thing. When you're in the field, or if you're trying to put this on a tripod that's got squiggly legs on it, it's easier to handle. The older versions have batteries that can be exchanged, and the battery life in general is a lot better on a cell phone than it is going to be on a digital SLR. And of course, depending on the size of your phone, you have a bigger screen to see what you're aiming at. And with the newer phones that are coming out, even low light video is pretty decent. Now, I totally get it. DSLRs, and especially the new mirrorless ones that are coming out, are awesome. They're going to give you better picture and video, and that's because there's a better imaging sensor inside. I understand all of that, and you have the ability to swap out lenses. But for the videos that I shoot, I don't need any of that. So you got to decide which way you want to go. The camera on your phone is a lot cheaper. Now, once you've decided on what type of camera you want to use, you got to have something to put it on to keep it stable. I basically used 3 tripods. Let me show you my primary. Alright, so this is my main tripod. Also got it from Amazon. It's by Velbon. The reason I went with this company is they are super budget friendly. Now, some of the pieces are plasticky like this. And you can see where I dropped it. That chipped off over here. And I have no idea where this adjustment knob is because it cracked up here. But in general, this is a great way to get a nice, smooth, fluid head for pan shots. And that's one of the main reasons I went with this. There's an adjustment knob here for pan and tilt on the other side. So if you really want to make it loose and smooth, you just loosen that and it's going to glide over a lot smoother for those shots. Another reason is they have universal plate adapters here. So you can have a couple of these, quick detach, put it back on and switch them out really quick. This is a great brand. The mount I'm using is by Ulanzi. This thing is absolutely fantastic. I haven't had any issues with the exception of this rubber slipping in and out, but that's my fault because what I do is I just slide the phone in there. What I should be doing is adjusting it, picking it up, and then adjusting it back down, but I just get a little bit lazy and shove it in there. So that rubber has come unglued, but I've just re-glued it. You got to make sure you get the one with the code shoe on the top though, because I ordered one without it and I had to send it back. So if you're going to pick up this mount for your phone, make sure you get the one with the cold shoe on the top. Alright, now here is my backup or secondary tripod. It's made out of aluminum. I found this in a thrift store for like $5. This thing does get a lot of usage when I'm outdoors. And then of course I have a flexible tripod like this one right here. My general advice is I would probably get the size that's a little bit bigger because sometimes I wish I had more leg to wrap around whatever it is that I want to wrap around. Oh, that's another benefit too of using a cell phone. It's a lot easier to duct tape or gorilla tape a phone to something when you're recording versus a digital SLR. Alright, the next thing you're going to need is something to record your voice because we all know that the internal cameras on cell phones and on digital SLRs are rubbish. Here's a look at my primary microphone. Alright, so here is my primary microphone, the Takstar SGC598. Tons of reviews on YouTube, really good ratings. It's AA battery operated, which I really like. And there also is a battery indicator back here. And that AA battery lasts for a super long time. You got decent shock mounts in here. I'm really happy with the audio and how cheap this was. And how I have it connected into the phone is I had some spare cables hanging around. So I think this was a 2.5 and it's going into a 3.5 that's going right into my phone. It's an awesome microphone. Alright, so my secondary mic when I'm in the field is my Rode Mic Me. This thing is a little bit temperamental sometimes, especially if I forget to turn off or turn on the airplane mode. You get a little bit of feedback. But what this does is it plugs into the 3.5 and you use this to squeeze down into your phone so your mic's not moving around. I like this because you can actually face it toward who you're interviewing, and then when you want to record your own voice, you switch it around this way. So this is extremely convenient, and it comes with this massive windshield. But I rarely use this because when I'm using this, most of the time I'm indoors. And then my third option, which is not necessary, but I needed it for certain times when I'm doing interviews or if I really need close audio like with ASMR, is my Zoom H1. So these microphones are really good, but when I'm doing a voiceover or something like that, I got this lav mic from Aspen Mics. Again, links in the description. Now the next thing you need is a place to record. And if we've learned anything during this pandemic is, when you're watching TV, you've seen people record in just the corner of their room, so you don't need a huge area, you don't need an elaborate background. The main things is that it's easy to set up, you can control the lighting and the sound. Let me show you how I control the sound in my room. Alright, so here is the acoustic blanket that's hanging off my closet because when I'm speaking this way, the sound was just bouncing all over the place. Now, you don't have to get an acoustic blanket, you can just hang up what you got. But I like this one because it already had the grommet holes in there, so it's just held in by hooks up top. Then on the very top, I got these pillows here that I had to stuff in there because the sound was getting trapped up in that cavity back there. And just to the right here, you can see some of the square foams that I got from Amazon. These ridges really absorb sound, so I have some here, and then I got some here, and then right to the left, then on the top here. So that does a pretty decent job. Alright, so here is a look at the curtains I'm using. You can see that they're not 100% blackout. I couldn't find a design that I liked, but it does a pretty good job at controlling light, and because of that extra thickness, it really helps absorb sound. So that curtain is really great. It helps me control light in the daytime, and it really absorbs sound. Now here's what I'm using for lighting, and again, I got all of this off of Amazon. I've got 3 of these. So this is just a simple garage light with some parchment paper. This exact parchment paper has been on here for like 3 years. I got some binder clips, and this diffuses the light. So if you use it without it, it's just going to be very directional and very harsh on your face. So this helps spread the light over. These stands are very cheap. They come in a set of 3, and they just have this spring clip here to hold it in place so it doesn't fall off. Very cheap and very efficient and very effective. And the last thing you're going to need is a computer to do your editing on and some kind of software. Now, I'm still using Windows Movie Maker, and I know there's tons of other great programs out there, but for the videos that I do, it's absolutely fine. Almost forgot about the most obvious thing, and that's internet connectivity. You're going to need a way to upload your videos to YouTube. Now, the free and easy way is just to go to McDonald's or Starbucks. The problem is because it's a public Wi-Fi area, it can be a little bit slow and you might be there for a long time. Next step up from there would be to use your mobile hotspot on your cell phone plan. Most of the 4 major carriers now have that included in their plan. Disadvantage is it's limited to 15 to 30 gigs, so depending on how long your video is, you might burn through that pretty quick. And lastly, you can always go through an internet service provider. The problem with that is they're really expensive. The minimum plan you want to sign up for is going to be right around that $60 price range. So it's going to be a lot faster to upload, but it's going to be more expensive. And that's pretty much it, guys. I think the most difficult part is just getting motivated to get the stuff and then getting in front of the camera on a consistent basis. Alright guys, that's the ending of the video. I hope you found it useful. If you liked it, please give it the thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to Chemo365, please do. Remember, I'll catch you guys laters.